The inference question on the TOEFL reading test is asking you to make logical assumptions using the information given. This information will not be explicitly stated, so the question will have words like infer, imply, or suggest. So what that means is you're going to have to understand the main idea of the passage in order to figure out and make that logical connection to understand the answer. But don't worry, we have a few strategies and tips ready to help you tackle this kind of question. Strategy number 1 tells you to use the keywords. So with this kind of question where you're inferring or implying, they will not make it too impossible for you to use the keywords to get you to the answer. So let's read this paragraph together and see if we can pull out some keywords to help us answer this question. The seasonal nature of agriculture in ancient Egypt, along with advances in food storage, meant that the people had more time for leisure. At least the wealthy classes had time for leisure. The lower classes became a reliable source of labor. Within this organized system, with an abundance of food resources, a rich culture flourished. While the pyramids and the elaborate tombs of the pharaohs are the most well-known manifestation of this culture, there are countless other achievements, including calendars, a form of writing, sophisticated architecture, particularly of temples, and a complex belief system, including a pantheon of gods. So to kind of distill this, we're talking about the seasonal nature of agriculture in ancient Egypt, along with advances in food storage, led to leisure time for the wealthy classes, not the lower classes. And with this organized system, they had an abundance of food resources, so a rich culture could grow and become strong. While the pyramids and tombs of the pharaohs are the most well-known, other achievements were calendars, writing, sophisticated architecture like temples, complex belief system. So what is the main idea of this paragraph? The main idea is agriculture and food advancement led to time for leisure, or leisure time, which in turn led to rich cultural advancements like the temples, the writing, the calendars, and more. So we've pulled out some keywords and we have pulled out the main idea to help us figure out some answers. Let's look at strategy number 2. Strategy 2 says to eliminate incorrect choices. So based on the keywords and the main ideas that we've pulled out, are there any choices here that we can eliminate? Actually, there are. Most notably, it says here, it began in the lower classes and percolated up to the higher classes. So what can be inferred from paragraph 4 about the development of sophisticated culture in the history of ancient peoples? Well, we just saw here only the wealthy classes had time to develop these things. So it could not have started in the lower classes and worked its way up. We know that that has to be wrong. Anything else that you see that we can eliminate? Well, we also didn't see anything about it is delayed when the people spend too much time on leisure activities. So it seems like in fact, the opposite is true. A rich culture flourished because of the leisure time that was available, leading us to be able to delete answer choice D. So using these eliminations from strategy 2 and the keyword strategy 1, are we able to choose between these two? Well, if you note the words that we've underlined, one comes up a few times, and that is food. And it's also showing up in our main idea here. So answer choice C, which says it depends on the stability in food resources, seems like it's the best choice. And in fact, that is the correct answer. So the inference question, as long as you take the time to read and understand the passage, you should be able to pull out the answer fairly quickly without too much trouble. One thing to remember is that since the test will pull academic topics, you might get a topic that you're familiar with. And I've heard of students before seeing a topic they're familiar with and just choosing the answer on site without even reading the passage because they feel confident that that is what would be right. Even if you've read the whole passage already for the other questions, be sure to take a quick pass through the noted passage or paragraph to make sure that you're pulling out the correct idea. So this is our breakdown of the TOEFL reading inference question. Strategy 1, use the keywords to lead you to the main idea. And strategy 2, eliminate incorrect choices. And in this way, we were able to pull a correct answer out of a sample question.